All right, Dave Schultz, Acadiana's only morning sports talk show. Boy, still having issues sleeping, and I guess I got up a little bit earlier this morning, at least to drink something, just diet green tea. Coughing attack all last night, and it only hits me like last night. It hit me right before I went to bed, and then it hit me all night. But during the day, I don't remember to get anything for it because it's not an issue for me. So it is what it is. Hopefully I'll remember this morning, maybe hit a Walgreens. There's actually a 24-hour Walgreens not too far from me, like the only one in town. And I should have gone last night. Maybe we'll hit it before we go to Orange Theory later today. All right, let me share. Let me share the video. All right, we certainly got a lot to talk about and not a lot of time to discuss it. For those who care, we still do not have a Kim Mulkey Washington Post story yet. I check that every day, and I just happen to have Wi-Fi issues this morning. I don't know why. Let's see. All right, so what do we got? We got Pelicans. We have, I did episode 3. It's episode 4. Oh, can I even edit that? Let me see. Share. Copy. I'll have to edit that later. All right. It's Schultzycast. Episode 4 is live. But you'll be seeing episode 3 in the thing. All right. There you go. All right. So it says episode 3 in the title. Still learning as we go. Okay. What are we talking about this morning? We got LSU Pro Day, Raging Cajuns. This one hurts. Kobe Julian hitting the transfer portal. Forget to plug in, too. I did not realize this also. The College of Charleston coach took the Louisville job. I didn't realize the pay difference between those two things. Like, even when Jamie Chadwell ended up going from Coastal Carolina to Liberty, I didn't understand it. And then it came out that one was paying $1 million, which is a lot of money, and Liberty pays $4 million, and that's even more money. So it's tough to look down at that. We'll see. They're putting Dustin Kearns out for a chance for the College of Charleston job, and I didn't realize is that a much better job? They're in the CAA. That's a one-bid league. They I guess they have better facilities or good facilities, and Charleston's a great place to live, apparently. But I did not realize how underpaid that they are at App State. Like, Dustin Kearns is making like $325,000 or something like that. Sean Clark's only making like $425,000. It's tough to compete. Tough to compete with that. It's a lot of money for the rest of us, so we'll get to that as well. Although I guess we just kind of did. Pelicans in the NBA. Pelicans and the Bucks taking the court tonight. Jose Alvarado banged up. We'll see if he plays. Bucks coming off that tough 3 overtime loss to the Lakers. And we have Major League Baseball opening day, so I will be doing that. Also, we do have the Cajuns in Texas State and LSU and Arkansas. From what I saw, we did not have a Friday night starter. For most of the past decade, LSU's had an issue finding a Sunday starter. I may have missed it. It was TBA as of yesterday for LSU Thursday night starter, as the case may be. All right, let's talk about that LSU Pro Day. I'm going to put this out here right now. I want, for my New England Patriots, I'm going all Kevin Costner. And I despise the movie, although I watch it all the time when it's on, usually for just the last scene. I don't even think it's that great of a movie. But I want Jaden Daniels no matter what. All right, I've bought into the Jaden Daniels hype. I think he's outstanding. And I want him over Drake May. If we're all presuming, not the smartest thing to do, but if we're all presuming that Caleb Williams is going first, I'm not buying Drake May. Drake May's got, to me, and it could be a white thing, I don't know. He seems to have the Zach Wilson. He's got all of the athletic. He's got all of the physical tools, right? He's big. He's fast. He can throw it. He didn't win all that much last year. And when he did win, he barely won. I think he hammered my Orange, but, struggled against App State. But wasn't fantastic. And it could be a Josh Allen thing, all right? And I always compare this to Josh Allen. It happened with Sam Howell at North Carolina, but he hasn't he's kind of turned into where he was drafted. So Josh Allen had a huge, sophomore season because he had a veteran offensive line and, upperclassmen skill positions. Well, they all left, and then his junior year was not nearly as good. And so when he came out, they had questions about it. So then that's an issue is that an issue for Drake May? Well, it happened with Sam Howell, right? Sam Howell had this great sophomore year, but he couldn't come out until his junior year, and it wasn't nearly as good. Drake May's season last year wasn't great. I mean, he's like 24-9. I mean, is that that's not great stats. He had a much better season in his junior year, but his stats, I mean, he's 6'4", 230, but I just don't buy it. I mean, in his sophomore year, 38-7. I mean, that's pretty good, right? 4,300 yards, 66% completion percentage. I mean, it's tough to look down at 38-7 in really your first year of a starting quarterback. He was outstanding, okay? But then it took a hit. Now, he didn't throw it quite as much, a lot less. He went from 517 attempts to 425 attempts. Completion percentage still really good, 63%. But, 700 less yards and 14 less touchdowns, but more interceptions. He went from 38-7 to 24-9. I'm not buying the Drake May hype. I want the Jaden Daniels hype. I'm not all that thrilled he didn't run or bench press, but whatever. I'll also say this. They say he shined on his pro day. Isn't that just playing catch? Is that a thing? I mean, I know everybody does it. It's a nice pub. ESPN was there. NFL Network was there. I think the SEC Network was there. Everybody was there in Baton Rouge yesterday. But isn't him just playing catch? So I think Brian Thomas ran. Malik Nabers ran. They had a good day. Mekhi Wingo put up 228 or 225, 28 times or something like that. I think Jaden Daniels will put on some more muscle. You can still put on, 10 to 15 pounds. That's a lot of weight. But, still it's, April, May, June, July. Oh, you got 5 months. You can put on some weight. Apparently, I thought he was only 195 during the season, but they say he was 210. He weighed in at 210. I thought he was only 195, so maybe he has put on some weight. That's what I thought. I thought I read yesterday, if it's on Twitter, it's true, right, that he weighed the same thing he did during the season. First of all, I don't think 210 is not that bad, right? He's a little bit big. He's 6'3", plus, right, over 6'3 and a half. I remember Tom Brady wanting to put on a little bit more weight to take the hits. So, we'll see. We'll see what he is if he weighs in at camp. All right. Usually those numbers stay the same throughout their careers, but we'll see. I'm a big Jaden Daniels fan. I want the Patriots to take him. I'm going to be very upset if the Patriots trade down and don't take a quarterback. Again, we talked about that the other day. If you better get a load of picks. I want 2 additional first-round picks in addition to what the swap is in the first round, and a second and a third, right? Well, that's a whole lot. Yeah, it is a whole lot. I want Jaden Daniels. All right, I'm going to roll Jaden Daniels. I'm also a big believer that the Patriots are not nearly as bad as everybody thinks they are. They were a 4-win team last year. I think their only over-under is 4.5. I'll take the over. If that defense is healthy, I think they're going to be pretty good. I will rephrase that. They'll be better. They would have won 6 or 7 games last year with a healthy defense, I think. All right? They got to address the offensive line. They got to address the receivers, which they really haven't done. I don't know what they're doing. But I want Jaden Daniels. So I'm all in on him. Unfortunately, he had a good pro day. So we'll see what Washington does. Everyone's jumping on this J.J. McCarthy thing. I'm going to go the opposite way. I think the whole J.J. McCarthy thing is a smokescreen. I don't know why it's a smokescreen. But I don't think J.J. McCarthy's getting picked in the top 3. He may get picked in the top 4 if the Vikings trade up with the Cardinals to get him. We'll see. We shall see. All right, Dave Schultz on the Schultzycast. Please subscribe. All right, we sort of slowed down on that a little bit yesterday, trying to get to 100 subscribers here in the next, by the end of the week, right? I mean, this is only show number 4. So, we get to 100, that'll be good. And again, it kind of grows organically. I put something out there yesterday. It got a big reaction, which was kind of the point. Unfortunately, for the Cajuns, Julian, who I'm not going to tell you was a good source who told me, Julian told me he was coming back. Last week, Julian said he was coming back. Well, I had a conversation with him. It was walking out of spring practice of football, walked right in there, in the gym, basically in the same building. Hey, are you coming back? I said, do you have a year of eligibility left? He goes, yeah. I'm like, are they going to call you Dr. Julian? He's like, Dr. J. I was like, well, that one's kind of taken. And then I realized, well, Kobe was kind of taken too. So, I mean, maybe Dr. Kobe or something like that, but that's kind of taken too. He said he was coming back. This is not someone telling me he's coming back. He told me he was coming back. So things change. He'd be a good addition everywhere. I think he could be better. Poor kid's had, numerous knee surgeries. I think he got tired at the end of the year. We'll see where he goes. I mean, I presume in his mind he's thinking he's going to LSU. I'm still not sure, right? Again, 17 and 7 in the Sun Belt is really good. It's a different ball game in the SEC. Not quite as dramatic, but it's kind of like that thing. I don't know if everybody saw it. And it turns out he was joking where Mike Greenberg said, UConn could, make the playoffs in the NBA. You can get a one-off, you can get a win, right? But we saw the difference between what JMU did against Wisconsin, and we saw what JMU did against Duke. So put JMU in the ACC, they'd win some ball games, right? But consistently having to come up with that effort, the talent is too different. But that is a tough blow because so far only Joe Charles and Themis Folks had gone into the transfer portal, and I'm not sure anyone was concerned with Themis Folks. And I'm still not convinced that Joe Charles is leaving. We'll see what happens with Julian, all right? Again, all these guys were there when Jordan Brown decided to leave to go to Memphis. He ended up there last-minute NIL deal, and the grass was not greener on the other side. I don't know how much money either one of these guys could get. Any money could be considered a lot, right? I'm not sure anyone's getting 6 figures. I would tell you if you can get a healthy 5-figure deal, right, then, you got a little money coming out of school. You can buy a car. If you're just moving back to Baton Rouge, you got a down payment on a place, right? So we shall see. But that is no doubt about it. That's a tough blow. That's a punch to the gut, as I think Deg said the other day about the 4 runs in the first with Grambling. Did not see Julian leaving. I'm still not convinced Joe Charles is. We'll see. All right. And the Themis Folks thing was, you could see that one coming. All right. Dave Schultz on the Schultzycast, Acadiana's only local morning drive sports talk show on YouTube. Could that be more of a mouthful? All right. We were speaking about this earlier. Like, I'm getting word from App State. Okay. So the Cajuns have 3 guys in the transfer portal. JMU's got a few more than that, I think. And App State's got like 3/4 of the team is gone. Like 3/4 of the team is gone on App State or something along those lines. And there's all kinds of rumors that Dustin Kearns is leaving. And again, so Louisville, going back a little bit, Louisville hired Pat Kelsey, who apparently is a pretty good coach. All right, doesn't have an NCAA win yet, but has taken Winthrop out of the Big South and College Charleston to the NCAA tournament. All right, won like 31 games this year. Again, CAA is a 1-bid league. There is no football. I happen to think, and we mentioned this, sometimes when you get to a football school, like, it can hide behind the football coach. There's a lot less pressure on you. When Billy Donovan is the football coach or the basketball coach at Florida behind Steve Spurrier, ends up winning 2 championships. How about that? You take a job at Michigan, you're behind the football coach. Nate Oates at Alabama, now he's the top dog, although not really, but he got his big contract extension. We'll see if they get their new arena. But you got Nick Saban to save you, because really only people care about is football. Whereas now, if you go to the College of Charleston, there is no football, so all the NIL money, if you will, goes to basketball. But that's just a little bit, right? How many are you going to save? All the players? And now you got all the pressure on you to win, right? So to me, that's the difference between going to Michigan and going to Louisville. Louisville's got a great football program these days, but you got to compete for Final Fours and national championships and be better than Kentucky. Michigan basketball, you're taking a backseat. A little bit, there's some cover. So, a little bit of cover, in App State, because everybody's out for Sean Clark. But how do you compete? If College of Charleston is paying $1.1 million and App State's paying like $325 or $350, or even someone mentioned, get it up to $500,000, that's still, over 5 years, it's kind of like, Florida State and Clemson wanting out of the ACC. We may only be, which is a lot of money, 10 to 15 million short, in TV money with the SEC, but you do that over a decade or two, and then it's a lot short, right? That's a new athletic building. You do 1.1 million to 500,000, to 500,000, right? That's 5.5 over 5 years to 2.5. That's, that's a lot of money to leave on the table. So we'll see if Dustin Kearns leaves. We'll see if App State steps up. He just did get an extension, but again, it's paying him like $350, which again is a lot of money to me, but not a lot of money to these coaches per se, when they're getting a ton of cash and it's all over the place. So we shall see. All right, Dave Schultz on the Schultzycast. I'm going to check again on the Washington Post story. I would love to know. It'd be interesting to find out if this was held up because of the ship, taking down the bridge in Baltimore. I don't know. Obviously, one's a major tragedy. Another one's not. I mean, they got another major story, right? Like the Caps and the Wizards were moving to Virginia, and now they're not. So that's a major story. Do not see anything here. I guess we can go to March Madness. Let's see here. San Diego State. Nothing. Oh, and we have the Sweet 16 tonight. So, yeah, we'll probably be out at the Yard Goat if anyone wants to come by, because we'll have opening day, we'll have Sweet 16, and the Cajuns playing Texas State, hopefully. All right, Pelicans taking on the Bucks. Again, tough homestand. I was hoping that the Pelicans would beat Oklahoma City and then probably lose to the Bucks and the Celtics. Maybe you can split one of those. But really was, probably lose to the Bucks and the Celtics, beat Oklahoma City, and then beat the Suns, Magic, and Spurs. Now you got to beat the Bucks and or the Celtics to go 4-2 on this homestand. And it is it's not. We'll see. Be more consistent. And again, people were playing the results yesterday on no Valanciunas. No Jonas Valanciunas in the second half. Well, again, you can't have it both ways, right? Because if it's not quite the opposite, but so they fell behind by 15 with Valanciunas playing in the first half. He didn't play in the second half. They fell behind by 20 to begin with, and then they make the comeback and actually take the lead. Can you imagine the reaction if they take a 5-point lead? You hadn't played Valanciunas the whole half. He comes back in, and then they lose? People would be like, what are you doing, Willie Green? You just were down by 20. You didn't play Valanciunas the whole time, and now you put him in, and then you lose? So people are playing the results when they say, well, he should have played. Well, Zion should have gotten a shot, okay? Maybe defend the three better. I know they didn't get some offensive rebounds, but I think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander just took a one way from like Najee Marshall, the one I saw. There was another one that he had that he tipped to Holmgren. He tapped to Holmgren. So there were a couple offensive rebounds that they could have gotten that they did not, that maybe Valanciunas gets, but they got a bunch of defensive rebounds in that 20-point comeback. So I think that is a little disingenuous and a little playing the results. That's what playing the results is. Well, because they lost because Valanciunas didn't play. Well, they also came back when Valanciunas wasn't playing. So, again, I may not be the biggest Willie Green fan, but, I would think it was more about Zion not getting a shot in the last 3:27. I mean, what is that? Come on. He's supposed to be the guy. And again, just watching the game, he needs to develop an outside shot. It's such an open shot because guys are standing behind the 3-point line. Even when he takes a step, they fall back a step. They all know he's going to drive. They all know he's going to drive to his left eventually. If he takes a step, if he just pump fakes, he's got an open shot. If he just, jab steps, they fall back. It's an open shot. He needs to develop a 3-point shot. I'm sorry. That's the only way he's going to take his game to the next level. Right? He should be scoring probably 27, 28 points a game. And then if you add in 6 rebounds and 6 or 7 assists, then it's like, oh, okay. Now that's pretty good. Giannis has developed an outside shot. Probably not great, right? He couldn't shoot free throws, and he's making free throws when they win the championship. So if Zion's going to take his game to the next level and the Pelicans are going to improve, it's going to be on him. Him and B.I. have to develop 3-point games. That's it. If they are relying on McCollum, Trey Murphy, and Jordan Hawkins and Najee Marshall, Najee Marshall's having like in a career year. Is he going to do that again? So he's got it. Zion has to improve the outside shot. Obviously, that's not coming this season, but that would be the goal. And hopefully he, carries his off-season, his in-season health regimen to the off-season, right? And we'll probably get a deep dive in, was it Christian Clark? A deep dive in, or Will Guillory, how much weight he's actually lost and what he does actually weigh. It's not just a professional basketball thing. Dude, it's your knees, it's your feet, it's your back, right? You're going to feel much better if you are. I don't think he's got to get down to 235, but 250, 255, 260, that's where I would rather have him. I think the Pelicans were like he's going to be 285. I'm like, no. And again, if he's lost 25 pounds, then he's sitting somewhere between 265 or 275. If he's lost 25 pounds and it's 285, that's outrageous if he was 310. That's not good. Is that math right? I was told there'd be no math. So we'll see. Pelicans taking on the Bucks. Big ball game. I don't know if we have a. Do we have a? Let me see if we have a Bucks injury report. I don't know. Pelicans usually put that. Alvarado is banged up. We'll see. I don't know if the Bucks, what it is. Pat Beverly, all reports are likely to play to push through it. I don't know if that's it. Let me see here. This is old. Top injury. No, that's old. Bucks and Raptors injury report. Trending buzz. I don't know. Let me see. No, all old. Okay. Oh, geez. Like a couple years old. No. All right. So don't have anything there. It says Jose. The Pelicans put out that Jose Alvarado is questionable for Thursday's game. Let's see. Anybody else? Pat Beverly said he hurt his wrist on a missed windmill dunk in warm-ups. So he's out for a little bit. I guess that's good for the Pelicans. Let's see here. Anybody else? Jose Alvarado. He's out. 5 Pelican players are listed as out. Brandon Ingram, we know. Dyson Daniels. He's working his way back. He's in the G League, and that's really it. Okay. So we'll see tonight. Then we have, let's see, just about wrapping things up here on episode 4 of the Schultzycast. Let's see what we got here. We got opening day, and I did first of all, I may have joined. I play fantasy baseball I'm not going to go over my team, just to keep up with it because I haven't kept up with it. I used to, most people know I was a minor league baseball guy, so I certainly was in on all that, but that's over a decade ago now, so I don't know who anybody is. And I joined a weird baseball league where they kill the batters for strikeouts. Not great. There's no home runs, which I don't get. So we'll see how much longer I'm in that league. It's a free league, but I may or may not care. It's just set my lineup and go. But it's just to stay up to date with them. So we already had a bunch of postponements, right? I think that the Braves and the Phillies are postponed. Yankees are taking on the Astros, right? So that ain't getting postponed. So that'll be fun to watch. Let's see. Let's go over it real quick. Let's see here. Scores. I did that wrong. Major League Baseball. Oh, no. Major League Baseball scores. Okay. Thursday, the 28th. Let's see. Do we already have? Who's postponed already? Mets and Brewers are postponed. Phillies and Braves. I will say this. Good for Major League Baseball for doing that way in advance. All right. They are day games. And so good for them for not dragging it out. Also, something that I despised. This is the reason why you play opening day and there's usually an off day to follow. That off day is just in case there's bad weather. Now, you won't have that for Houston because there's no chance of it being a bad weather day, but they do have that day built in just in case you have this. So the people who have the opening day tickets can go the next day, allegedly. All right, so who do you got? You got the Orioles taking on the Angels. The Angels are a lost cause. White Sox and the Tigers. Royals and Twins. You do have Yankees, Astros, all right. And it is on ESPN Plus, so we'll be able to actually watch that. Marlins taking on the Pirates, Padres and the Giants. Dodgers and the Cardinals. We'll see how good the Cardinals are. They may be brutal. Rays taking on the Blue Jays, Reds, and the Nationals. The defending World Series champs taking on the Cubs, the Rangers taking on the Cubs, A's, and the Guardians. And late night, Mariners, if you will, late night for us. Mariners hosting the Red Sox tonight. And the Diamondbacks, the defending National League champs. God, what a World Series that is. Rangers and the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks taking on the Rockies. So we'll see how that goes. And again, the big series, we got a couple big series. Not only are the Cajuns have a big series with Texas State, and even Deggs did say, hey, we got a little bit of breathing room because we sweep ODU and we've taken, 2 out of 3 from Arkansas State. But boy, I did not realize how bad LSU is reeling, right? I mean, let me see if we got LSU pitching rotation before we wrap up. Because it was a TBA. Yeah. Matthew Musso, Moscona's producer, putting it on TBA. Holman going on Friday and Gage Jump going on Saturday. We still have, still as of yesterday, TBA. I mean, I don't know who the Arkansas pitchers are, but you got Hagen Smith, who's 4-0 with a 1.24 ERA. All right, 10 walks, 62 strikeouts. 62 strikeouts in 29 innings pitched. I probably should know who Hagen Smith is. Luke Holman, who's been outstanding, he's going in game 2. That, you know what? That could be because of rest, now that I think about it. All right? That could be because we want him on proper rest. Holman is outstanding. 8 walks, 56 strikeouts in 34 innings pitched. He's going up against Mason Molina. 3-0, 2.57 ERA. 47 strikeouts in 28 innings pitched and only 15 walks. Gage Jump, who pitched against Cajuns, was very good. 2-0 with a 2.38 ERA. Only 9 walks and 32 strikeouts in 22 and a 2/3 innings pitched against Brady Tygart. 3-0, 1.59 ERA. 39 strikeouts, 28 innings pitched, 16 walks. So Arkansas, obviously one of the best teams in the nation, number 1 ranked in the polls, number 3 in your RPI. And this is a big week for LSU because, again, their schedule is brutal, right? Like the Cajuns, I'm going to complain, if you will. The Cajuns, after this week, their big RPI games are actually, like, they play Southeastern, and that's better than playing Marshall or the other team that they have, or ULM. The Cajuns' RPI is going to take a hit. It'd be interesting to find out if it takes a hit if they win 2 out of 3. If they beat Marshall 2 out of 3 and beat ULM 2 out of 3, does it take a hit because they lose to those bad RPI teams? Whereas, they're playing Texas State this week, and then at the end of the month, they get Coastal Carolina at Coastal Carolina. So that's big. They do get Southern Miss and Troy to wrap up the season, so that'll be fine. But this is why that's Texas State is so important for the Cajuns. If they can take 2 out of 3 in this one, their RPI will be kind of having that cushion that Matt Deggs is talking about. Their strength of schedule is not very good. And in that off week, in the off weeks, some of the days, I think like that Houston Christian and Prairie View, that's just going to kill them, and they can't lose those games. They cannot lose those games. We are looking to avoid having to have a good week to save your season, which is what they did last year, but you'd really not rather do that, right? You'd rather be, we'll see what they are heading into the thing here. All right, going a little bit longer. Warren Nolan, RPI, they were, what did we say? They were 62. They were 61 to begin the week. Then they played and beat Grambling. Grambling guys were really nice walking out. I said, you got a 3-hour bus ride home, and like, you got to do work on the bus. They're like, no, we're on spring break. I said, all right, enjoy it. All right, so the Cajuns still 62, okay? You got a bunch of these teams, right? You got South Alabama 59, Georgia State 61, and the Cajuns 62. I will say, and again, remember, this is all a math equation. It just, depending on your RPI, it changes. WarrenNolan.com. His predicted results, he's got the Cajuns. Oh, see, this changed again. It's got him 18 and 12, but in the conference, see, that was like, I swear it was like 22 and 8 after the game the other day. So I don't know what's changed. He had him going 4-4 in quadrant run. Now it's 4-6. He had him beat. I thought he had him. Now he had him beating Texas State 2 out of 3. Now he's got him losing to Texas State 2 out of 3. They sweep ULM. They sweep Marshall. He's got him losing at Southeastern twice. He's got him losing to Southeastern twice, and he's got him getting swept by Coastal Carolina. It's amazing on how the math changes. And they really didn't play all that poorly against Grambling. They had 1 bad inning. Yeah, I don't know about that. Oh, they got the South Alabama. I forgot South Alabama. He's got them losing 2 out of 3 to Georgia Southern and 2 out of 3 to South Alabama. So, yeah, these things change. It is amazing because, again, I swear I saw it where they were 22 and 8 in the conference. That's not what he's got now. So we'll see. This is a big ball game tonight against Texas State. Obviously, it'll be on the plus. And we'll see if, with the pitcher, with the starter going short and the relievers coming in behind him, right? It's Andrew Herman and, LP Langevin going tonight is basically what we're thinking. And we'll see if Holtzhammer comes in to close it. So big series there's going to be a lot on at, So what you could have on tonight, it's more than the Schultz Bar and Grill. You got to be at the Yard Goat, right? And I will have my computer to live tweet the Cajuns game. Also, there's a bourbon tasting a little bit. I think Bullet, free pub. You got Cajuns. You got LSU. You have the Pelicans. And it's opening day. What games are on later tonight? The Red Sox, but that'll be late. You got the Cubs and the Rangers, although everyone around here is Houston fans, right? So the Yankees in Houston will be probably finishing up by the time the Cajuns get going. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I will quickly, the bourbon tasting at the Yard Goats tomorrow. It's Friday. So I guess you'll have the Cubs and the Rangers on. That's on ESPN. So, I mean, there's a ton, right, that could be on. Cubs, Rangers, Cajuns, Tigers, and Pelicans. I mean, kind of need to be at the sports bar tonight. That's a pretty good sports bar night. Yeah, that'll be good. All right. We'll be continuing to go back and forth, and I appreciate it, right? Nothing personal. I'm a pro Marlin guy. I really am. I appreciate all of the Cajuns fans who are looking for something more. I think it is difficult to compete. I mean, I didn't realize how many championships. Let me see. I'll be the first to tell you, I did not realize how many championships Georgia State had won. My goodness. They had won a bunch. Since I'm only talking since 2013, 2014, so it's 11 seasons. GSU won it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. All right. It should be noted, they've won it since 2013, 2014, 11 seasons. GSU's won it. Georgia State's won it 4 times. And remember, it's not 11 seasons because no COVID in 20. All right, because of COVID. So in the 10 seasons, 2013, 2014 to now, GSU, Georgia State has won it 4 times. The Cajuns have won it twice. So that's 6 out of the 10. Nobody else has won it more than once. No, it's tough. That's why in baseball, in Sunbelt baseball, you don't want it to come down to the final week, right? I mean, right now, if we do it right now, I think I saw someone in there, bracketology, if you will, and I forget who it is, but put out Coastal, Southern Miss, and the Cajuns. Cajuns were like the last 4 in, all right? And that's just bracketology as of right now, right? It's just a wild guess. But, I mean, can JMU get in there, right? They got the high RPI, right? Anybody else got a high RPI? Let me see here. Who's got a high, I guess they had a bunch of teams, 10 in the top 80. Who's got a high RPI? And I'm talking, anybody. Let's see here. What do we got here? Because Coastal's fallen to 27. James Madison's fallen to 33. Those are good RPIs. Anybody else? Southern Miss is 50. Right, Georgia Southern's 51, App State's 53, App State's up to 53. They're up 7. I mean, so that's really good, right? But as we know with basketball, to me, you have to be top 35. You can't be top 40 because they'll take a Power 5 school. You have to be top 35 to get a at-large berth. That's where you want to be. If you're sitting 35 to 40, you're on the bubble. If you're top 35, where, if the Cajuns start winning, they stay, if they take 2 out of 3 from Texas State and, sadly to say, sweep Marshall and sweep ULM, I mean, if they're on some ridiculous winning streak when they go to Coastal, and I can't imagine that being the case because that's not the way baseball is. So it won't be a winning streak if you take 2 out of 3 from Texas State. But, and even we'll just say take 2 out of 3 from Marshall and 2 out of 3 from ULM, and you win your midweek ball games, and you have a cushion in the Sun Belt, which I think is ranked 4th or 5th in toughest conferences right now. Let me see. We're going a little bit long here. He's got the rankings of the conferences. Let me see here. I thought it was 4th. Sun Belt is 5th. SEC, ACC, Big 12, Pac-12, and Sun Belt. I mean, Sun Belt's 5th. That's outstanding. So if you can be top 35, you're going to get an at-large. You'll get an at-large berth, and that's what you want, right? If you're the Cajuns or whomever it is, if you're in that, top 35, top 40, then you go into the Sun Belt Conference Tournament and you get up far. Now you can improve your seeding. Maybe you're not a 4 seed and have to play the host city. Maybe you're a 3 seed. All right. They did put the Cajuns, guess where? Baton Rouge in the bracketology. What a shock. LSU only an 11 seed. And they may be hard-pressed to get that. We'll see what happens here over that. I mean, again, their schedule is, they get Missouri, but then, I mean, it is not easy after that. Not easy after that. All right, thanks for tuning in to the Schultzycast. I will edit it in the title. It is episode 4. Please subscribe. It's a big help. Appreciate the back and forth on Twitter. It is certainly nothing personal. I appreciate the fandom of Cajuns wanting something more. I really do. We may have something going good with baseball and softball. We'll see. Still not sure on softball. Like Kendall Rogers of Division I baseball, I'm higher on baseball now. How can you not be? Because the bats have come around. A lot of the bats have come around, and the pitching has been really good, right? Despite a bad inning against Grambling, the pitching has been outstanding over the last, during their winning streak. We'll see if they can run it to 9 straight against Texas State. Thanks so much for tuning in. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like and share the video. It's a big help. That's how it gets to be more organic, and you can see it when I put the Sunbelt videos out in the shorts. You can see it get caught up in the analytics in YouTube. So it's a big help. So thank you so much. We'll recap all of the action. Like I said, there's a bunch to talk about tomorrow, and that still doesn't even include the Kim Mulkey Washington Post story that hasn't been released yet. Have a great day, everybody. I'm going to get some cough medicine, and we'll talk with you soon.